And getting our mindset and our gratitude was one of the bigger things that came into play. But it's declaring. What are you declaring every morning? I declare, and be bold and be brave with your declarations. um, it's okay to say that you're afraid, but go out and declare what it is that I am going to be an Isogenics millionaire. I am going to reach a certain rank, or I am going to have a fabulous team that grows and then, it uplifts the lives of others. Just set those declarations in the morning and stick them on your mirror in the bathroom while you're brushing your teeth, and state those declarations out loud every day. And then the third D that she talked about was develop. And it's, there's a right time and a right place to develop. Leave your ego at the door, do your trainings, get on calls, do what you need to do to develop your skills and your mindset to do this business, because it is like this, right? Everybody comes in and out of flows, and it's, highs and lows, but it's okay that happens. But it is, can you make that decision to do what you need to do and to develop your skills? The other thing that she talked about is having the courage. Are you one of those people that's going to walk through the door or stay outside of the door? So just make those decisions. Did anybody else have any takeaways from Emily that they'd like to share, or just how they felt? I would love to hear what you guys have to say.
So we wanted to open up today as a discussion and have our presenters start the discussion about what it meant to them, and then have you guys jump in, because everyone experienced something a little bit different. So feel free, unmute yourselves and join into the fun of, what did Emily's presentation do for you? How did it affect you? I know I've been like writing DDD everywhere. Annie Medina on the call right now is getting all kinds of text messages from you on a regular basis of decide, declare, develop.
I'll jump in.
It was a lot of, oh, sorry, Nate. For me, it was just a lot of reminders, right? A lot of reminders of why we're doing this, what we're also passionate about, how to stay on track, how to stay focused. She just speaks to me. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, So thanks for being here today, Varsha.
Thanks, Bethany.
I wanted to say something about declarations, which are very similar to affirmations. And Varsha, this is something that I have years of experience with, and we want to make them in present instead of future. Like I'm going to be is always putting it ahead of us instead of declaring and calling it I am. And if it feels weird to say, I am an Isogenics millionaire when you're cycling once a week, which it might, you can say, I am working my business daily to become an Isogenics millionaire. So still making it that present. So I love that reminder about declarations, Varsha, because they're so powerful. And we definitely want to make sure it works for us. And I loved Emily's reminder about putting them all around, because I used to have them all over my mirror, and then, the cleaning lady would come and they'd get washed off and whatever. So it's time to do that again.
Yeah, that's awesome, Stephanie. In fact, I believe I think it was Susan Slyer. Someone had a guest from the Chicken Soup of the Soul, who was one of the co-writers of the book. And that was one of the things, was 100 goals. What are the 100 goals? Write them down in the first 20 minutes, like just sit quietly and just write them down. Just write them down, what your 100 goals. And he had said, with the declarations that, some of you haven't reached a certain level of money level. Like if you're not an Isogenics millionaire, I am in the process of becoming an Isogenics millionaire. Or I am in the process of achieving 2-star. I am in the process of becoming a 6-figure income earner. So I just loved how, he had said that, like you said, Stephanie, with the declarations, how it is important to say I am, or I am in the process. Because it just shows that you're working on that.
And see how different that feels than I'm going to be?
Yes.
It's like, I just got chills as you said that. Like I felt it. I really felt it differently. It landed differently.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think someone else wanted to say something.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I loved how just authentic, genuinely authentic. And I think that's something that, is so awesome about so many of these leaders here, is their posture and just being them, and people, we all know people want to buy from someone that they know, like, and trust. So just being authentic, that's so huge, because it comes through. People can see through BS, but when you're real, it comes through.
That's absolutely 100% correct, Jenny. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that wanted to share? Well, Stephanie, I'll just turn it back over to you for our next presenter. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Varsha. And thank you so much for being here. It's really, Varsha is an absolute pleasure and a great example of how people who really don't know each other all being brought together and just synergistically working together by being authentic and having the same goals. And that's, I really appreciate that about you, Varsha, and everything that you're bringing to the table. I love it. All right, I think next we had Sheri Dunaway on the list, and Sheri wanted to talk about the social media part. How many of you really gained so much from that? I know there was the breakout session, which I think she's going to be diving into. If you guys want to state also in the chat, what were some of your favorite breakouts? Because there were quite a few to choose from. I think as a group, we went through about 4 of them during that 3-hour period. And one was the social media. And so Sheri, I know you took away a ton of notes. Tell us all about that, because Sheri is a social media star. She focuses on Instagram and stories and has really blossomed in front of the camera. And it's really been amazing watching her grow and become who she is because of social media. Thank you, Sheri.
Well, social media definitely has helped me, and I am still learning social media. Like today's Zoom call earlier about Linktree. I have known about it, but I have not personally done it yet. And I did see in that Zoom, I believe it was Kasha, had a question about it. And I tried messaging you saying, we'll get together later and talk more about Linktree. I don't know if we have time for that today or not. But one of my biggest takeaways was all about the avatar. Did anyone else cash out about the avatar? Have you had a chance to create your avatar? All right. So I did a little bit more digging and research into it. And today I did put into Game Changers Business. And then maybe I can put this into some of the other groups. But I found these nifty little worksheets to help create. Like this has the avatar demographics, avatar behaviors, interests, and general information. And they have different questions to break it down to help you come up with your avatar. So the biggest thing for me, and I've learned, like, you cannot hit a target that you haven't set. So this avatar is creating your target audience, your target market. I never even put that together until NYKO. Whenever they were talking about that, I was just blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to do this. And I am still personally working on mine. But my avatar, I named Ava. That's easy for me to remember because it's short for avatar. And still, such a beautiful name. She has brown hair, brown eyes. She's 34 years old. She is a mom of 2. She has a pet dog. And I could actually go into a little bit more specific. I can say how old her kids are. Does she have a boy? Does she have girl? Does she have twins? I can go into what kind of pet dog, what kind of color. I mean, this is all up to you, how deep you want to take this. But Ava wants to go to the gym, but she is too busy being a mom taxi. I think us moms know how that is. So one thing I have learned about this from just a little bit of the avatar that I have done is I can be relatable to her because I am a mom. I'm a mom taxi. And how do I fit my business? In the pockets of my time. So can she. So how do I market that to her? I can make posts about how I am sending out messages or something, doing my business on my phone, in the waiting for my kids to come out to the car. I mean, there's like endless possibilities with your avatar. I've heard of people creating more than one avatar, but honestly, I think you just need to, at least for me, work on one to begin with. After learning about this avatar, one thing that I did, my little 3-year-old son came up and put his PJ Masks toys next to my computer. I took a photo of that and I said, guess what? The gang showed up to support me while I'm at work because I'm a stay-at-home mom. All right, I saw, what is an avatar? An avatar is the person that you are talking to. It is a made-up character by you, but it is the person that you want to market your business to. Does that make sense, or did I just confuse you even more?
No, you got it. But can you give an example of like a post like you did with the PJ Masks of something else that you would post speaking to Ava?
So that post with the PJ Mask next to my computer was basically showing I am a work from home mama. And these are some of the things that I have to deal with. I have to deal with duckies and Play-Doh and eggs next to my computer. A lot of moms do that. Because I see other posts from stay-at-home moms that their space looks immaculate. There's no kids that they post about, and I'm like, you're a stay-at-home mom? Like, really? Because your space always looks so good. And I know that's not true. So the person that I am marketing to is that stay-at-home mom that can reach in, just over and get Play-Doh. I know, I've confused everyone. I'm sorry. I made it worse.
No, you're great. It all comes down to having someone feel like they like, know, trust, and respect you. And when we're speaking the same language to them, and they look at our messages and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's totally me. And then you bring out some part of item that they're looking to receive in their lives, they know exactly who they're going to go to because you've already established that like, know, trust, and respect with everything. Sheri, that's absolutely beautiful.
It goes back to being authentic. Like this is the true me. This is what you're going to find if you come to my house. You're going to find I'm a stay-at-home mom. What you see back here may look all nice and pretty, but you don't see everything else around me.
That's right.
Stephanie?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead, Sybil.
Okay. Interestingly enough, what you guys will find out oftentimes is that your avatar is who you were before Isagenix. And so it's like a younger version of you. It's the version of you that you think of or you visualize when you're writing your 30-second story. Before Isagenix, I was. And I think that there's a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, it turns out it was me. So if that helps you kind of like fine tune it a little bit, these graphics are awesome, by the way. If you can fill these out, you can get really, really much more fine tuned. But sometimes you just need to hear that it was the lost you. It was the you that was looking for purpose. It was the you that joined this company when you were that person. Because that's the pain point. That's like, what was it that you were looking for, searching for, that took you to Isagenix? And you've obviously changed and morphed into something fabulous, but there had to have been some pain that made you reach out and need some help. And that's who you're trying to target market to.
Exactly.
Is that helpful?
Yes. Thank you.
No, you're doing awesome, Sheri. I just thought the very crazy epiphany after you go through all of this is you go, oh my gosh, that was me 5 years ago. So if you're the type of person that gets hung up in the weeds and you got to fill out 5 documents first, just know that you could probably narrow it down to just, where was I when I was searching? That's your avatar.
Right. Those are such beautiful people to reach, because you're really going to connect on such a soul basis, because it probably was who you were at that time. And I always, try to take away the concern for people when asking them to post pictures or post on social media or something. Everyone came to Isagenix for a reason. There was a reason that brought every single person here. And when you share your reason, you'll help all of those other people that are feeling the same thing. So that's beautiful. All right. So thank you so much, Sybil. Thank you, Sheri. That was fabulous. There were a couple different places that they offer to us between Chelsea and Lane Taylor. Sheri, would you like to go over those? I don't know if you had those in your notes, some of the different hashtag areas, some of the different apps that they were giving us, but different things to just kind of help it make it easier for us to come up with our posts and the hashtags, and some of the things to help it be seen by more people.
All right.
I'm putting you on the spot right now.
That's okay. I really I was that type of person. I didn't really take very many notes. I was trying to soak it all in. So let me just open it up. Did anyone have any questions if you saw it regarding the social media?
Sheri, if I could just have one little share. Sybil, I love absolutely what you said, because I've done a ton of avatar work, and I found that I really was trying to attract that, already successful person that was so busy. And I didn't look at Isagenix as the business. So that's the one thing I want to say to you guys is, just keep in mind that these people that you are attracting, you could bring them in for the products, and like me, they could turn. I turned with the help of Robert Arthur, who's on this call, where I really was I said to my friend, I just want to use the products. I don't want anything to do with the business. I have 3 businesses. I have 2 toddlers. And then I started just seeing, wow, what's possible. So, even if they don't say, I want to do the business right away, get them on our products and, just kind of stay with them and show them what is possible, drop in those little things when you can about the business opportunity and, how they can get their products paid for at the very least. And then when they start to get a taste of that, like I did, then they can get more and more excited about the business opportunity.
Yeah, I love that. And these are all such great reminders, because so many times either ourselves will find ourselves saying this, or we have other people come on to our teams. They're like, I just want to attract business builders. Well, okay. How are you going to do that? You have to have a plan for that. And having that avatar is just such a beautiful way of doing that and attracting them. So I want to just kind of go through a couple of the different things on the social media that I picked up. If you haven't watched that breakout, I do highly recommend it. It's the Chelsea and Lane Taylor breakout. And what they were focusing on were 3 different things. One was hashtags. Getting back to hashtags, and Sheri and I discussed this. We kind of got away from hashtags for a little bit, and every training between Eric Worre and this training and so on is get back to hashtags. So try to have those hashtags set up. You can preset your hashtags, and there's a couple different programs that help you. You come up with your main hashtag or your main direction that you want to go, and then go into that app, and it will give you several different other hashtags to use. It's highly recommended to be between about 25 to 30 different hashtags, all relating to your post. And
Stephanie,
yes.
Can I ask something about that? That is in direct conflict to what I learned not that many months ago. So has that changed again? Because they said it used to be 30 hashtags. Now it's absolutely up to 14, 7, 8, 9 to 14 is ideal. So
that's what I started doing, Stephanie. I started bringing down, for one, I didn't have the time and the energy and effort to put into finding all kinds of different hashtags. I'm always messy, and then I figure it out. And so I went down to about 10 to 15, but I did notice a lot of my stuff started to drop in numbers. And then after listening to Eric Worre, I don't remember if it was Jesse Lee or Shailene Johnson, but both of them one of them started talking about 28 to 30. And then Chelsea and Lane Taylor were up in those higher numbers as well. We've also just brought in a virtual assistant to help with hashtags, and she's using 30. So I think we are getting back into those higher numbers again. That's
I guess we can
trend that I'm noticing.
It's not going to hurt us to experiment.
Nope. And so my experimentation, I'm still not back up to the 25 to 30 when I do it. I'm in that 15 range, but when the assistant does it and the different things that I'm doing, my numbers have increased again. So the experiment that we're working on is good as far as increasing the followers and numbers and comments. You know, it's so ever changing. We just cannot stay on top of social media and think that this is what it's going to be all the time. It is ever changing. I've started to do a few more in Facebook as well. I used to just do like 1 or 2. Now I've gone back to 3 or 4.
So hashtags in Facebook really don't work.
Yeah.
What you're going to want to do is whenever you post in Instagram, and I know iPhones and Androids are completely different. I'm an Android user. So I will write out my little script, my caption, and then I will do dot, enter, dot, 5 dots down, and then I put all my hashtags. And if you look at hashtags this way, do you want to do 10 hashtags, which you are really limiting and zoning in on your target? When you put the less hashtags, the less you're putting yourself out there. If you do up to the 30 is the limit, then you are broadening your audience. So what you're going to want to do that dot, your 30 hashtags, and then you're going to copy and cut up to those dots. And then you can hit enter. If you have your Instagram connected to your Facebook, you can just go ahead and send it, and it'll actually send it to Facebook without all those hashtags and dots. Then you go back into, after it's posted, you go back into your picture on Instagram and comment and paste all those dots and your hashtags. So whenever people see it, they can read it without all those hashtags, because most of the time they're not even looking at the hashtags. The hashtags are a way of people to find you. So when they are searching for something, if I go into Instagram and I want to look up hair tutorials, I will look up hashtag hair tutorial, all one word. And then I have like a whole list of things that I can watch or look at because they did the hashtag hair tutorials. I don't know. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And you answered a lot of questions on why people do the dot. That was a big question for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's just to kind of clear up the clutter just a little bit. And then plus there was, I don't know if it's true or not, there was rumors around that Instagram was cutting back your algorithm if you put the hashtags in the comment section.
So do you know if that's true or not?
I have no idea, but I just know it helps keep the clutter and the feed. I mean, because if you did all the dot and hashtags, or just hashtags all together and sent it to Facebook, then everyone on Facebook sees all that clutter too. And it's just like, who are they marketing to? It's really a turnoff. The hashtags are a turnoff, but they're useful.
It's also not the best idea to do directly from Instagram to Facebook, because you'll have a lot of the similar followers and people end up unfollowing you on one or the other if you're doing the same post at the same time. And also apparently, even without the hashtags, which is weird because Instagram is a Facebook app, but they still punish that easy button like, well, I don't know why they offer it when they don't promote it then, when you do it that way. So
Right. They want us to use the real estate, but
yeah.
So I have a quick question. I use hashtags all the time on Facebook and not just in groups. So Sheri, what was your point when you said they're not useful on Facebook?
Because people don't really look up hashtags on Facebook. Facebook is not,
I mean, generalization, because I know that I do, and I have several people who I know do that. But I mean, I don't know in a global sense, I couldn't even talk to that. But as you said, when you're looking for hair, I do the same, looking for food, looking for, different posts that relate to that.
I mean, yeah, there are some that do on Facebook, but I have found that most people don't do it on Facebook because they have the search bar. They can just go in and search whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like the age differences or something, that it's Facebook and then Instagram and then Snapchat and Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, great. So we're going to take a couple of minutes. Sheri, if you'll help me with this, and let's talk about some topics. What topics can people post about so that they are reaching their avatars and reaching out to different people to let them know? So what they suggested is pick 4 to 5 topics. And you heard Sheri's Prince earlier, become laser focused. So I think there's so many people who are just really starting to simplify their business and how they do things, plus the people we're reaching out to. So simplify it. So 4 to 5 topics. I know I wrote down for me, family, health, boys, fitness, and fun. I want to center my topics all around those different types of areas, and anything that's not related to that, I want to really kind of look at that. Is that something, am I giving value? If I go outside of those areas, is it me? Is it not? And just really focus on what do I want to share with this community and this network. Sheri, did you have some that you wrote down?
So you're talking about the 4 to 5 passions? For me, I had wrote down faith, family, travel, which I did a /fun because I like to have fun when I travel to places. Disney and babies. And I toned it down a little bit more with the babies with breastfeeding and preemies.
Perfect. There you go. And then Bethy's posting some in there. Guys, go ahead and write that in, because the more we share with everyone, the more other people will have the ability to really think, how does that relate to me? What is my why? That's always the biggest question our team members have. I don't know my why. And so the more we share, the more people will find out what their why is. So go ahead, throw that into the chat. We'd love to see that. But Instagram right now and I'm sure all social media, but Instagram in particular, is really about the lifestyle. Lindsay Hopper talked about it a few weeks ago, and it's just sharing your lifestyle and how people want to relate. They want to relate to you. They want to relate together. We're bringing people together virtually, and we do that in all of these different capacities that we have. And it is all about building those relationships. So we do need to be intentional on building relationships. We've got to focus on how can we serve. And if you go with the avatar, like Sheri so graciously talked about, it makes it a lot easier on how could I serve Ava today? How can I make a difference to Ava? So when you come up with that avatar, it really helps to narrow down the focus rather than, oh, what should I post about today? How can I add value? Do I have anything to add value about? What does Ava need today? It's a Monday afternoon. Ava's probably tired. Kids are coming home from school. How can I brighten her day and give her some energy and some positivity? All right, I love these coming in. Family, freedom, travel, food, God, faith, marriage, nutrition, community, family. Excellent. All right, wonderful. All right, anything else that you wanted to cover with social media, Sheri, or any other questions? I know, Stephanie, you're asking about the app that they suggested, and I wrote down a few different apps, and I don't know which one related to the hashtags. So I want to visit them first. I can tell you all the different things that they listed. I just don't know where they relate. So
yes, please, if everyone's okay with that, I'd love that.
Okay, good. It's just purely a list. So Lightroom, Live Room, and anyone that was on this breakout, if you hear or think of others, write them in, please. Snapseed, Unum, you spell it UNUM. And again, I don't remember what all of them relate to. I just know I had to look them up. And Grid Maker for Instagram. I think that might have been the hashtag one. No, okay. Sheri, do you know what that one is?
The grid maker was one that I suggested. It's how you turn one photo into multiple photos. So on your Instagram page, it looks like one big photo, but it's actually like 4 or 6 different photos. You got to be careful with that though, because the more you post, it'll get out of order. And then the picture will just be like a big puzzle. As far as hashtag apps, there's actually several different ones on Play Store or whatever store that Apple has. You just go in and look up hashtag generator, and that will usually pop up an app for you. And I don't know if she's still on here or not, but I think Annie wanted to say something.
Hi. So yeah, thank you, Sheri. I wanted to share something, a personal experience actually. So when I go on my Instagram story and I share it to my Facebook story and I share, let's say a graphic, let's say a poll, I don't get too much engagement. The minute that I go on and I share myself and I do a short little video clip, like, hey, you guys, I'm sharing a little bit about something I'm excited about. It's going to help with my hydration of my skin or whatever I say. The minute that I do that, I start getting interaction. People start to send a heart or, hey, what are you taking? Like, I think think about your or think about you now, okay? Think about you now when you go on Insta stories, Facebook stories, and you're checking out Emily Vavra. If she just put a bunch of graphics, like it'd be cool, but I want to hear from her when she's late at night, exhausted from the day, and she's giving us a little tip on like, she's drinking tea and she's just like, man, today was such a good day. Like I'm a little bit sore and I'm still going through messages, but I am so fired up still. I just did Zoom after Zoom. I'm going to be on TV tomorrow on the news. And if you guys can catch me, go for it. And then she'll like pan over to Hugo, her dog. And then you just kind of feel like you're part of her life and you know what's going on. So when you think of that, think about you being that person for the girl that you used to be, for your avatar. She wants to hear from you. She wants to know that when you're so tired and delirious, you're laughing like crazy. She wants to know, oh, she must be tired. She's laughing deliriously. Or, oh my gosh, I'm on my stories and, oh, I'm going to go on my stories because around this time, usually Annie will jump on and she's showing what she's making for dinner. Maybe I'll get an idea what to make for dinner. Or maybe, hey, it's the morning and, oh, I'm in bed and I can't get out. But you know what? Usually she's walking around and she finds a feather and then she gives me hope. And then she's at the gym on the stepper or whatever. But just something, if you could be consistent and do it every single day, you're going to start getting your people attracted to you. And it'll be more of a niche person because it's the person that you used to be. And you know that girl because you were her. So if you try to create an avatar that you cannot relate to, but you wish to be, you're not creating the avatar you want to be in the future. You're creating the avatar that you were because only you know her, only you know him. So if you could keep those things in mind, and I know it's sucks to go live sometimes, like when you're not ready or whatever. But just think about that girl that doesn't get ready every day. That is like, oh, that was you, you know? And when you're actually ready, you can go on and say, oh, I'm actually ready today. Like, I'm going to document this, and just kind of like have fun with it, show up. And even if you start out by doing some lives and you're not in it, because it's scary to go on Instagram live. Like you know, eventually get better, but you can just like show like, oh, I'm cooking, and you're at your stove and you're like, oh, I'm cooking this and this or whatever. But just get into the habit of actually doing a video, not just throwing up a quote tile or throwing up something that you shared from someone. Do things in your authentic way, sprinkle that in, and I promise you're going to start getting people that are gravitating to you. Your people are going to start to gravitate. So that's just a little something I wanted to share with you that I have been monitoring and working to get better. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, and that was perfect timing. Your bandwidth went low. Beautifully stated, Annie. And it was great because as you were going through the different posts, like the feather, I could visualize the feather and you picking up the feather and getting hope that day. And that's just such a great way of really thinking when we want to make that difference and we want to bring value to our avatar, what might they need? And just remember ourselves, and always remember to be, you know, vulnerable or transparent. You don't even have to be vulnerable, because vulnerable doesn't always mean growth. Transparent, like Annie was talking about, like me, I never wear makeup. So I do state when I start to wear makeup on different things, because I never do. And so I want to speak to that girl who, it's okay. It's perfectly fine to not always be ready for the day in that regards. You're still ready, whether you have that on or not. That was beautiful. Thank you. All right. Next, I want to bring on Heidi Fannin. And Heidi is going to share the item that really hit her. It's kind of one of those aha moments, something that we've been talking about for about a year and why, but it's not until we actually do it that we get it and we totally understand why it's important. So Heidi Fannin, if you can share the leader in action.
Hi guys, thanks for having me. I love the leader in action, but I have to be honest, I resisted it for years. And I also love Susan Sly. I've even taken a personal course with her and Lisa DeMaio a couple of years ago. And she's just such a powerhouse of a woman. And you can see that she's done so much personal growth on herself. And so she really inspires me. So here are some of the things, my takeaways from the leader in action, which she talked about. First of all, with your team, you decide. You decide. There's no reason to reinvent anything. Sometimes I think we think, oh, I'm going to create this for our team and create this. It's all done for us. So decide what you want and don't reinvent anything. Trust the leaders, because Isagenix gives us everything we need and they've done the research for us. We don't have to create anything new. And it's made for us to help us all succeed. And she's really big on, and me too, become unshakable and unstoppable. Number two, she talks about really getting organized. Now, not where it, yes, Stephanie is laughing. Stephanie, organized. She's so organized, but there's a beautiful thing about that, but don't let it stop you. Sometimes when you get this perfection perilous and all you're doing is organizing, there's a fine balance, right? Now, I need better organizing for sure. But what Susan did was she decided 90 minutes a day. That's what she put into her business.
Oh, come back, Heidi.
That was so good.
I know. Come back, Heidi. She's in Wisconsin. Her bandwidth can be low at a different time. All right.
Print out. Collagen.
Oh, here you go. You're back now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Shoot.
Heidi, you left off where you said Susan Slide committed to 90 minutes a day, and then we didn't hear anything after that.
Okay. Thank you. So she committed to 90 minutes a day. That's what she did. She decided to do it. And that's what we need to do. We need to decide, what are we willing to do?
Beauty from the inside out.
Wait, Heidi, I was muting a couple people. Oh, you're on Nancy's line. My fault. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Because you're Nancy, yeah.
Okay, no problem. Sorry, I'm Nancy. I'm actually Heidi though. So one big thing is becoming duplicatable, right? And we all know this, but are we? In the beginning, you guys, I was not duplicatable at all. I've been executive with the company for about 5 years. And oh my gosh, I look at how many things I did wrong. So I'm a graduate from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition out of New York City. And people that I signed up thought that they needed to be a graduate in nutrition. And it's just not the case. So I had to kind of backtrack and relearn. I don't need to share all this information about the details of the products because that's what intrigues me. I don't have to share all that, right? Unless people ask, right? So I realized I wasn't duplicatable. So becoming duplicatable. So what she does is these leader in action forms, she goes, here's what you do. You go to your back office, you take your new enrollee that's interested in sharing with 2 people, you go to your back office, you go to contests and promotions, you show them how to do it, you go to print, and you guys, I just started doing this, and I've been in this company almost 6 years. I've just shared how to do this with people and fill it out. And I have them print 12 of them for every month, right? Here's what happens with people though. In March, people are going to want to get a little lazy. Maybe they got too many zeros and it's kind of defeating. You got to go back to what you decided in the beginning, right? That's huge. You got to think about, would you sign up with you? And if it's a no, think about what it is you need to do to become better yourself. So you would want to sign up with yourself and be really honest about it. I really do think I would sign up with me, but I know that I've got flaws. So I'm like, oh, think about those flaws and work on them, right? That's one of the best things about network marketing to me is that it's a personal growth journey and you will make the income. Like I'm here, I want to get here. There's some more personal growth I need to do on myself. All right, where do we go? And Susan Sly is like she's a queen of manifesting. What she manifests, like what she puts into fruition, she manifests it. So I'm doing a course with Gabby Bernstein right now. I don't know if you know Gabby Bernstein, Spirit Junkie. And it's a great manifesting course. Crazy things have happened. Like she said, okay, think of an image in your head. And she just wants you to know that the universe has your back. And I thought of a white feather. I kid you not. She goes, that is going to start popping into your life a lot when you start getting more in tune with living with your soul purpose. I swear to you, I was plunging the toilet, right? There was something in my toilet that was like, I don't know what, was stuck. The plunger had a white feather stuck to it. That's the first time I saw the white feather. So it's just kind of funny how things start manifesting. So we can do that for ourselves. We don't want to make this complicated. She says we want to make it duplicatable. And this is such a straightforward sheet. And it kind of tells, for me, like, this has been a game changer. I have it by my side all the time. And I'm like, ooh, I really want to help someone rank advance. I really want to help. It's right there. It's by me all the time. And if someone signs somebody up, I immediately put it on my sheet. Like I'm excited to fill out my sheet. But again, don't get frustrated if you have a 0 in a column. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. So you go, you print it out and you start filling it in. That's what we need to do. And that's what we need to coach our people to do. It helps us stay focused and succeed. She recommended a daily power hour. or a weekly power hour. And she said, check in with your team members, have them take a picture of their leader in action formula and send it to you once a week. So even if it has zeros on it, just have whoever wants to do this with you and run this with you, have them send you a screenshot every week. It just kind of keeps us conscious and in the forefront.
Beautiful.
So share the
See, I'm just gonna stop you right there because you're leading into the perfect segue for Debbie, and we have 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Go ahead.
All right.
I know. I do want to share one thing. Think of the number of points you want to earn in the month. Make that your goal. I want to earn 40 points each month. That's my minimum. That's what I want to earn at each month. Think about what your goal is for points and then start manifesting it. All right. Go, Debbie, go.
Thank you. So, and it does, because, what I've got the most out of the whole NYKO was that it's all your intent. What are you intent on doing? What are your intentions? And make it known to you, write it out, put it there, put it bold in front of you, and then just do it. And so the 30-day plan is how many times you're going to share your story, what you want to do. And there's a whole form on Isogenic Business that you can go on and print it out. There's a 30-day one, there's a 90-day one. And this helps you get really focused because you want to zone in on exactly what you want to do. And I took that, and they talked a lot about time blocking. And I've found, just since I started doing time blocking, I guess I started Sunday, because I started writing in my calendar, getting, again, very specific. You're specific with your avatar, who you're reaching. You have to be specific with your time, and when you're spending it on your business, when you're spending it on your family, when you are reaching out, you want to make sure all your time is clear and concise. So I started, I got a really nice calendar. Most of the leaders talk about having a calendar that's hourly, that you can go in and go really into scheduling your time. And so I started that Sunday. I worked with it yesterday. Tuesday, I've already gone in and gotten even more specific into my time, because I didn't accomplish what I wanted to. I still was missing things here and there. So I'm getting even more specific into the time frame of what I'm doing when. When I'm on a working call, whether I'm on the Zoom, or whether I'm doing it by myself, I'm in that time and I'm focused, and I have, my things, you do your penny, you do your reach outs, you do your auto ship, you do your cold ones, reaching out to whoever. And I just think all of these trainings all just compiled together really well to get you focused, get you organized, and then get you going. So I really liked that part. In the 30-day plan, there is a page that has all your time, so you don't have to get a planner. I lose stuff if it's sitting right in front of me. So I liked the idea of having the planner. I love this though. And it's just the same thing. So you could totally put this in a binder and keep it all together, and then have it daily, where you go in and you literally figure out what you're doing when. I just lost it. It was in my hand. So, I literally went in and wrote everything down. I went in and put my time for my exercise. I put in the time I'm going to do my laundry. I put in my work at time. I put in the grow time for the calls this week. I actually had my first time visiting with someone person to person and not introducing to Isogenics on the phone. That was fun. You schedule all of it in, and then you have your non-negotiables. And I've heard non-negotiables, and I didn't quite figure out exactly what, but I've got a much more concrete non-negotiable time when I'm not doing anything Isogenics. I've spent a long time away from my family in my bedroom. So now my family time is super important. So when my husband gets home at 5, I'm done. Done until 8 o'clock. It's non-negotiable. That was something we set up together to say, this time I need you focused here, off your phone, the phone down, just leave it be and just be present. And I think that's, we talk about being present in our lives, and that's part of it. You have to focus on just this moment, and whether this moment is a business moment or a family moment or whatever, just be present and give whoever you're with that undivided attention. And I think that goes along with everything that we've been saying for who your avatar is, who you are, serving others. It all comes in together. And so the more that you can set that time aside and be specific and say, okay, I even put in, I'm going to the grocery store. 1, so I remember, but 2, so that I actually go. And I think that's going to help all of us stay really laser focused, but still be able to have lots of fun and enjoy life, but know that you're acting with purpose. And so that's what I really got out of all of this. I was looking for.
Debbie, I have to say that was the best closing statement ever. And the perfect way to close this call was to have fun, be intentional, and stay focused. We're here for a reason. We're here to serve other people, but we're also here to serve our families and ourselves. And we can't forget all of those different moving parts. And so scheduling it, putting it down, making sure that you have all of the different important things on your calendar to give them that time is so, so, so important. And who doesn't agree that the collagen is going to help keep everything simple and so much easier for our businesses? I'm actually loving this going on. I want to thank all of you guys, Varsha, Sheri, Annie, Sybil, Bethany, Debbie, and Heidi. Just and amazing takeaways from NYKO. So many things to look at. It is still in the back office. So if you guys want to review, go back, or if you haven't had a chance to listen to everything or even any of it, it's going to be in your back office for a little bit of time. They'll give you a deadline. That's when it's going to be cut off. Definitely visit some of these remarkable presentations and the breakouts. And with that, that includes our recap for today. Thank you guys so much for joining in all of the presentations.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.